So this is my raised bed that I have in my yard. I absolutely love it, and I've had it for about 2 years now. This is 4 feet by 6 feet, and at the time when I had first built this, I really was just testing out the waters of my gardening skills, so I really didn't want to have anything too big to where I'd have a ton of maintenance. And this has just been a dream to take care of and super easy. This garden bed is located in a very sunny spot. It gets sun for most of the day and hardly any shade. So the plants that I put in this area are sun-loving plants, and they thrive in a sunny area. Not a lot of shade, so when you are putting plants in here, be aware of that. When I have a plant that I want to have in here, like spinach or peas, I plant those at pots up in the front by my deck. A lot easier, a lot shadier up there, and those plants are going to last rather than when it gets to the hot summertime, they will die back here. So something about my garden bed that a lot of people do not do of what I see is mulch it. The reason why I mulch my garden bed is because I do not want any weeds getting in there. And if I do have any weeds, there's maybe 2, 3 that I have to pull instead of having my whole garden bed consumed with weeds. And it will. Once summertime comes, if I didn't have this mulch in there, I would have a ton of weeds in here that I would have to pull continuously. The mulch that I ended up using for this is a pine bark mulch. It is a no float, and that's really important because we get a lot of rain here during the springtime, and you do not want the mulch overflowing and then getting onto your grass area, because that would just be a mess to clean up. So make sure you are looking for a mulch that will compact really well and will not move once it is placed. You'll also want to be putting at least 2 inches of mulch in your garden bed, the thickness of it. If you do any more than that, your plants will be more prone to mold growth, disease, so make sure you are at that 2-inch mark or just below it. You're really just trying to prevent weeds and help the plants keep as much moisture as possible around them. The biggest things I wanted to plant in here were tomatoes and a lot of peppers, and I did just that. Last year I had zucchini growing in here, cucumber, peas, spinach, tomatoes, all my herbs. It was just a mess. This thing was completely full. You could not see any area in here, like free space at all, and I think that is just something that we learn as gardeners over the years. Like, all of us make mistakes, and we learn from those mistakes, and we do what's best and what fits us and our needs in our garden. And that last year was just a mess. So that is why I chose these plants this year, because those are what I ate the most of, were tomatoes and peppers. So I had to have those this year. Things that I didn't eat so much were my zucchini, cucumber, like all of those things that you see at the garden center and you just think you have to have. You don't have to have it. And you don't have to fit all of those things into your garden in 1 year. Try new things every year and ditch out other things, or find another spot for those large growing plants like zucchini, cucumber, pumpkins, any of those crazy vine growing huge leaf plants. Okay, so the first plant that I have here is a tomato plant. This is a Better Bush. This is a Determinate tomato plant. And when you are planting in a small garden bed, you want to make sure that you're getting Determinate tomato plants. They have a specific count of blooms that will be on this one plant, and they stay very compact, and they just don't take up as much space as what an indeterminate tomato plant would be. So this is going to be very beautiful, very bushy, and I'm really excited to see how this turns out and what kind of luck I will have with this. So this is a hybrid tomato, and as you can see, determinate. And then this is going to take full sun, so that will be perfect for this area. And yeah, I only planted one of these, and I think I'm going to get a lot of fruit off of just this one tomato plant. The next tomato plant that I put in here is a sweet, super sweet 100. This is an indeterminate plant, and normally I would not put an indeterminate plant in here because I had done that in the past, and again, it took over and it just didn't have enough room. But over the years, I have learned how to prune tomatoes, and I am very, very prepared for this thing to take off. With indeterminate plants, they do not have a set height, a set bloom. They will grow as wild as they want to if you don't take care of them and prune back. And they will never stop growing fruit until you either A, cut it back, or frost hits. So again, this is Super Sweet 100. And this is a hybrid cherry plant. Again, full sun. And yeah, I think this thing is going to do amazing. I can definitely do a video on how to prune indeterminate tomato plants. You don't want to be pruning your determinate tomato plants because again, those have a set bloom count. If you cut back any stems on there, you're just taking away fruit and not getting those numbers back. Whereas an indeterminate will have so many and it will continue to produce tomatoes. So here's another cool tomato plant which I'm really happy that I ended up getting. This is a Patio tomato plant. That's what it's called, Patio. And for the perfect reason, you can have these in pots on your back patio because again, they're determinate and they grow very bushy and compact. So that's perfect. Now, I did not buy 2 of these tomato plants. I actually had one plant that I had bought and it had 2 stems. So when you buy your tomato plants, you can see the stem that comes up from the bottom. It had 2 of those. So what I had done was I had just split it in half and then I had 2 tomato plants, which is a huge bonus. So when you are at the garden center or anywhere that sells plants, definitely keep an eye out for those because even if it looks a little leggy, split them up. They will take off if you give them the chance. So this is Patio, and then Full Sun, and this will give me about medium-sized tomatoes. I think these are going to be fantastic. So I've never grown these type of jalapeno peppers before, but I'm very excited and I was very intrigued when I had seen these at my garden center. So these are called jalapeno peppers. So these are heatless jalapenos, and I think that would be amazing to just have and try. I've never had this before, so I think it would be very, very yummy. So this is another new one that I am trying out for the first time this year. This is called Tangerine Dream. This is a pepper plant, and these are very sweet, snacky peppers. So you could come out, pick all the peppers off of it, harvest those, and just snack on them or add them into salads. They are very colorful. They look like the color of a tangerine. So I am very excited to see how these turn out or if I have any luck with them. I wanted to have a regular jalapeno plant because we do like to make jams and we do like to have a lot of jalapeno poppers during the summertime. So this variety is called Mucho Nacho Jumbo Jalapeno Pepper. So that's basically just saying that they're going to be very large and honestly perfect for jalapeno poppers, which, yeah, I put it right in my cart. So this was the only herb that I ended up putting in my garden bed. This is a rosemary plant, and even though this is the only herb in this garden, it can stay right in this corner. I know it will not take over at all, and I definitely use all of my herbs and I dry them. So I will be keeping this very maintained and I'm not worried about this at all. So this is another determinate tomato plant. This is called Yellow Canary, and these are cherry tomatoes. So when this bushes out, I'm going to go ahead and attach it to this, and it'll stay upright, very compact, and hopefully give me a lot of fruit. I'm really excited to see how this one turns out as well. And the last plants that I put into my garden bed were these 2 sweet banana pepper plants. And we love to can sweet banana peppers. So these 2 alone are going to give us many fruit on them, and I am very excited about harvesting them. I get very impatient, but these will grow very big and give us a lot. So I know these will do good. So another thing to remember with your garden bed is that you are going to be fertilizing, or at least you should. So I fertilize once a month, and I use Plantone. That is my absolute favorite. It's an organic fertilizer, and you just come out here, sprinkle it on top, and then water it in, and then you will do that again once a month. It's going to make for better fruit, better growth, and you'll have your fruit in no time. Yeah. It's just going to be great, so don't forget that. Alright guys, I hope you liked the video, and I hope this inspires you to get out, garden, or at least try 1 or 2 plants, even if you're doing them in pots, or if you don't have a raised bed and you want to do it on the ground. Just get outside and garden. It's so much fun and so rewarding to be able to grow your own food. I love it.